Brother Super Cap, because I really appreciate it. Shout out to Grown Men Talking. Already became the sponsor of tonight's show with a total of $20. Thank you for helping us keep the lights on. Grown Men Talking. Shout out to GMT. Thank you, bro.
No captivity.
GMT say, my guy, no cap. It was a blessing having you on the show Sunday. Had some great feedback. Blessings. Thank you, bro, man. Hey,
no cap.
Just in case some of y'all don't know, I was on Grown Man Talking show last Sunday, and I had a blast, man. Shout out to Grown Man Talking, and shout out to his entire panel, all the ladies and all the gentlemen. I had a great show. I had a great time on his show. A lot of different opinions, very opinionated panel. Thank you for even giving me that warm embrace, GMT. Thank you. If you haven't subscribed to Grown Men Talking's channel yet, make sure y'all go subscribe to Grown Men Talking. It's an excellent brother, excellent channel.
GMT and Mingo.
Hey!
He should come on the panel. Like, he should definitely come on the panel.
Come on up here, sir. Come on up here. By the way, is this a love offering or is this
no,
indentured servitude?
That's my dog. Those are for minutes.
No, don't influence him. He can
that's my partner. I got his vote by proxy. Ask him. You want me to call him?
What up, Grown Man Talking? I appreciate you. Let me see. Grown Man Talking. That's another show I watch. Y'all check out my man Grown Man Talking right there. Y'all can see that. That's the name of this channel. Very good channel. I watch it every day. That's I got the idea from about having a panel with more than one person on here. I saw him one day doing it. He could have women, interesting topics, what have you. So I appreciate you, Grown Man Talking.
What is going on? What is going on, YouTube? We are live. We are live. We are back in the building. And shout outs to So you guys are out here with your boy on a Friday, and I'm excited to have you here as usual every Friday for Grown Men Trash Talk, where we do it big, where we have good conversations and we critique the foolishness that's out there in the world. But first, before I get started with the show, I wanted to send a special shout out to my brother Blockchain in the building. Check it, right? Check it. My man, what he did was amazing. He sponsored, so we shot the reunion for Meet to Marry last week Sunday. And when I tell you, my guy not only looked out, but looked out to a point where he took care of the entire cast. I'm talking about entire cast, from my staff through the cast, to take us all out for a celebratory dinner at a real 4-star restaurant. So shout out to my guy Blockchain for sponsoring that dinner. It meant so much. Everyone said they had a good time, and everyone wanted me to give you shout outs, and so do I. So big ups, big blessings to you. And we got my boy, Skinny, in the building. Shout out to you, my guy. What up, what up, what up, family? Do me a favor, y'all. Stay active in the chat today. As y'all can see, I done tried to move up in the game. I had this camera for years, never hooked it up. As a matter of fact, I never even knew how to hook it up. And then one of my guys told me what to do, and here I am in 4K. Hopefully I look good, right? Hopefully I don't look crazy. See, damn, it's catching like all types of stuff on your face. This is wild. But anyways, we outside, we in the building. Shout outs to y'all for being here on a Friday. I know y'all are at work, but as you come in the door, do me a favor and hit the like button. Hit the like button for your boy. Likes are free. Let's get this out into the algorithm. And you're right, blockchain is the man. Definitely looked out. He flew out to Charlotte the day prior. We hung out. He took me and one of the people that's on our staff out to dinner. And then he also took care of the dinner for the entire crew. So shout out to blockchain, that post office money. Man, I'm in the wrong profession. I need to get a job with the United States Postal Service. I'm doing wrong things. I'm in the wrong profession, right? But anyways, so we got a good show today for you guys. We got a good show. I just wanted to tell y'all also before we start to be prepared for episode 6 of Meet to Marry tomorrow, which will be the season finale. And then the reunion would be February 15th at 1 p.m. So I'm talking about fire. We got some fire for y'all. So stay tuned. I'm telling y'all, if y'all don't know, tell a friend to log on and make sure they are subscribed. Make sure they are subscribed to the channel for more Meet to Marry updates. We have some fire coming on for y'all. So trust me when I tell you, y'all don't want to miss this. But anyways, let's get into the video. Y'all, we got some tomfoolery. Y'all know how we do on a Friday, so we got some tomfoolery for y'all. So I'm going to start this. Where we at? Where are we at? Oh, yeah, this one here. Whoa.
Amaria, get your ass up.
Hold on. Shout out to the wife. The wife is in the building. Shout out to Dion MUA. Big ups to you. And my man, Adrian. Adrian is in the building. He says, happy Friday, fam. Happy Friday to you, man. I can't wait to hang out with you so we can catch up, man. Really catch up on what's been going on. I need to know how life has been for my brother. So let's connect soon. All right, let's keep going.
And make him some food. He got his leftover spaghetti in there. Make him some more spaghetti. And put his fish that I made him earlier in the air fryer. And warm it up.
Hold up. We got Tisha in the building. What up, though? She is outside. Big ups and shout out to you. That's what's up. It's good to see my peoples up in here. My wife says here, Meet to Marry, season 1, catch up, people. So if you haven't seen it, or your friends haven't seen it, make sure you tell them, yo, go back to episode 1 and watch it from 1 until 5, so that way they can be caught up to episode 6 tomorrow, and they will know what's going on the reunion. Because the reunion, because I don't even really want to tell y'all. If y'all follow me on IG, I've been posting little clips so y'all can kind of see what it looks like, but I didn't give away anything. But y'all want to see some fire. Y'all want to see great quality. Y'all want to see a really good show. Be prepared for the reunion, y'all. Y'all won't be upset, but catch up on season 1. So here we are, right? It says your teenage daughter sends a text. Your teenage daughter sends a text asking you to make her boyfriend more food. What in the world is going on? So here she is, mama, opening up the door. Shay is in the building. Shout out to Shay. Salute. What up, fam? So Mom walks in the door to her daughter laying in bed, laid up with her boyfriend, which is wild. Which is wild. I'm pointing this out because we have a problem. Why are you okay with your teenage daughter laid up in the bed with some dude? And then here's the thing, right? We want to get mad when we see our daughters get pregnant at an early age. We want to get mad that she's laid up with, obviously, this dude looks he looks lazy. He looks lazy. He looks lazy. For the mom to walk into the room and say, hey, get up and get your own boyfriend some food while you're laying in the bed cuddled up with a man, we have a problem. But let's continue.
No, you're his girlfriend. Get your behind out. I'm his mom, yes, but you're his girlfriend. I already made the food. Am I right, Jakai?
Hold up. So
Are
I'm
you
not
always
that wrong.
gonna tell him be quiet when I'm right?
That's his mom.
Look, he put his hands up like he give up. Get your ass up and go warm his food up. The spaghetti is already on the stove. We reheated it. It's good to go. Put his fish in the air fryer because he don't want no microwave soggy fish. Period. So get your ass up and do what you're supposed to do as a girlfriend. Mama can do some things, but mama can't do all things. So come on, sweetness. This your man. Warm his food up and feed him. What y'all watching?
They're so juvenile that they're laying in bed watching SpongeBob. SpongeBob, of all things. First of all, I'm sorry to say this, y'all, and I know this might not sound, very appealing to a lot of people, but we have to put an end to this, right? We have to put an end to this. Wife School just gifted a membership. Thank you so much, and shout outs to much love and respect. You got a few horns for that one. Shout outs to you, for real. You know what I'm saying? But what part of the game is this? Laying in the bed watching SpongeBob with your man. I know ain't nobody paying bills. Then when this little girl ends up pregnant, we have a whole problem. Everybody gonna want to be mad. I'm not. See. Here's the thing. I was young, right? Obviously, right? I'm 40. How old am I? Wife, if you're listening, how old am I again? I think I'm like 43, right? Something like that. And I was there. So I don't want to act all self-righteous as if I'm above above the hype. I was a young man who was laid up in some woman's house. But guess what happened? Then came teenage pregnancy. And I want to be very real with y'all on what happened. Then came teenage pregnancy. My oldest son, by the grace of God, he is 25 years old today. He's 25 years old now. Living a great life. I'm very proud of him. I did the best that I could as a dad, but I could admit to my mistakes, and I could also admit that I didn't know much. I was 18 years old. She was 17. And that was a whole problem. And we was just like this, right? We was laid up in the bed with each other, the foolery. And mom, not my mom, her mom was okay with what was going on. Didn't put an end to it, didn't tell me to leave the house, didn't say, yo, this is not appropriate to be laid up with my daughter when she's 17 years old and y'all laying in the bed together. So guess what happened? Teenage pregnancy. Do you know that we had to struggle for many years to make it? And I'm only giving y'all what was the real. I wasn't always the man that I am today. So this is what I believe men my age need to start doing. We need to start telling the truth. We need to start saying exactly where it's a problem. And stop lying to people, making them feel like stuff like this is okay, so long as the mom knows it's okay. Do y'all know how expensive a child is? Do y'all know how lazy young people are in America? We're lazy. We don't want to work. Everyone wants a free ride. We weren't raised in a society to be out there and be straight hustlers, to work and make it by any means, so that way by the time we're 25, we're successful. The majority of us grow up and we try to figure it out as we go. There's no guidance. There's no men around that's teaching young men how to be men. So here we are, we end up with teenage pregnancy. And we want to be mad at the world for being what it is, but it starts at home. It starts at home. It starts with this. It starts with not allowing this. Not allowing your daughter to be laid up with a man, or not allowing your son to be laid up with a girl, the possibilities of getting them pregnant. There's only one real reason why they laid up like that. Guarantee they're sexually active. 1,000% they're sexually active. And if you could say she's a teenager, this is a problem. The likelihood is I barely see any facial hair on that young man. That young man is a teenager as well. They should not be that comfortable inside of any one of the parents' houses. I don't care who this is. I don't care who's mad at me when I'm saying this either. You don't like it? Oh, well. If you're doing it and you're okay with it with your kids, oh, well. I got to say it. I was there, and just because we don't think that, for some reason, people don't equate sex with pregnancy for some strange reason, that we think that teenagers are smart enough to be able to say, oh, I need to protect myself at all costs. And we put all that trust into our kids. It's ridiculous. And something's got to give, right? So that's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. And that's why I'm putting this, video out there. Because it's crazy. It's crazy. I know most of us was out there doing this. I know I wasn't the only one, right? There you go. Take the door off the hinges. But I would even go deeper than that and say, listen, I understand that if I don't allow you to come into my house, that is going to happen anyway, right? Kids find a way. Young people are smart, smarter than we think. So even if you did take the door off the hinges, even if you did say you cannot come to my house, kids will get it popping in the park. But here's the whole thing though, right? We want to make sure that we are not the catalyst of the problem. You want to teach your kids accountability. When you teach them accountability, you now take at least you're not under my roof doing this. It's one thing. But if I chose to accept it, I have to take accountability in saying I allowed it. I allowed it. So now when I have to babysit and I'm only 40 years old and you 18, who could be mad? I'm not going to be mad at the kid. I'm going to be mad at myself. Because I put all that trust into a teenager. Could y'all see me? Could y'all hear me? Because it looks like I got a delay again. I don't know if StreamYard is going crazy. But could y'all hear me? Yes, no? Type of 1 if you can hear me in the chat. Because it looks like I got a delay. I don't know what is going on with StreamYard. I have to start using another system because, damn, not cool. Y'all can hear me. Great. So, this is just the problem, right? So, it's about taking accountability. It's about, knowing that as parents, we have to be in control of what our children do. We need to be in control of how they move. And if they choose at an older age to do what they do, at least you are not the problem. They are. What up, Eva? Shout out to you. It's first time seeing you in our chat. Much love, much respect to you. She's in the building. So, you know, we just got to make sure that we're doing it right and we holding these kids. And if they're out here laying in the bed with each other at a teenage age, and we are not doing everything in our power to stop it, as a matter of fact, we're telling our daughter, yo, go cook him some lunch, or telling the other girl, yo, go get up and cook my son some breakfast or whatever. We are the problem. We are the problem. So that's why I wanted to show this, right? I really wanted to bring awareness to this because it's something that pisses me off. Like I said, I was there, so I understand where it comes from, and I understand that children, young kids, young teenagers, I should say, will go out there and they'll find a way to have sex no matter where. They'll, like I said, they'll be in a park, they'll be under a boardwalk, they'll be freaking rolling in the sand. They don't care. Kids will find a way to get it popping, whether you allow it or not. But at least if, like, there's a way of teaching your children some form of self-respect, some form of discipline, so these type of things don't just happen. You got to teach your daughters to value their bodies. You got to teach your sons to protect their seed, so they're not out here doing foolishness like this, then get pregnant and then get mad at the world. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that a young man that age could provide for a family? Do you think that a man that looking like that boy that's in the bed with that young girl, let's play the video back just a little bit so you can see the age of these people, right?
We reheated it. It's good to go. Put his fish in the air fryer because he don't want no microwave soggy fish. Period.
So the mom put his fish in the microwave because he don't want no soggy fish.
So get your ass up and do what you're supposed to do as a girlfriend. Mama can do some things, but mama can't do all things. So come on, sweetness. This your man. Warm his food up. And feed him. What y'all watching? SpongeBob. You guys are such kids. I just love it. But I'm not doing it. So you do it.
She even said it. She even said, you guys are such kids. You guys are such kids. Yet they laid up in the bed with each other. They laid up in the bed with each other and you are okay with that. Never in a million years would I be okay with that. I'm sorry. I know better. And that's the thing, right? We made mistakes when we was younger, but we are supposed to know better. Here's what I see, right? Accountability. We're very much the class of people that's like, and I don't care what other races do. I'm talking specifically about us. We're very much the class of people that's like, I was younger, I made mistakes, so allow my children to do the same thing. But are you forgetting the road that you had to get to where you are? And then I like to study statistics, right? I like to look at the fact that the majority of teenage youths that have teenage pregnancies struggle. This is pissing me off, man. Do me a favor, y'all. Like my man Skinny Head says, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Likes are free. It helps your boy out. It puts me further out in the algorithm. So shout out to you. All right, y'all. This is pissing me off, right? Let's move on to the next topic. What do we got over here?
Give us your perfect first date.
First of all, my man needs to make at least 7 figures. That's number one. Number two, if he wants to take, I need a leader. Okay, right. So I need him to be like, yo, the private jet is ready at 8. Your dress is being delivered at 6, and the car service is coming at 7.
How many private jets you been on now?
Honestly, that's why I'm not in the dating scene. Because if you're not meeting those standards, I'm staying single. Sorry, baby.
You serious? Of course.
Of course.
I respect it. You know what I mean? That's
why I'm single.
If you don't mind me asking, how much do you make a year? If you don't mind me asking.
Close to 6 figures.
Close to 6 figures.
Yes.
But your man got to make 7 figures, or you meant to say 6?
No. If he makes a measly 6 figures,
measly.
he needs to at least be of high status.
All right, y'all. I know y'all are like me. Y'all are very tired of this conversation, of this back and forth about the foolishness. We all know she's not the average woman, right? The average woman is not out here looking for a fella to make 7 figures. Even though they might say stupidness like that, we know that's not average. The average woman makes less than the average man. And that's okay. That's okay. Right? I wouldn't attack the argument as a man, right, by saying something along the lines of, how much do you make? Because usually the successful men that I know could care less what a woman makes. So yeah, she could be frying fries at Burger King and he'll still pick her up so long as she has common sense, beauty, and she's able to at least get on his program. We all know that. So you making what you make don't really matter. So I wouldn't attack it there. What I'm just saying is this, right? We need to get off of this stupid conversation because it's not realistic. It's not realistic. The chances are of a woman finding a man that makes 7 figures is slim to none. So we know that the argument is null and void. It's dumb. It actually makes absolutely no sense to even talk about it. I got sent this in my IG, and I'll say, you know what? Let me review this crap because it's just a pack of foolishness, right? My boy said, "Where'd you find this foolishness?" I get sent it, man. People be sending me stuff, so I decided to bring it up. But listen, I know it's not realistic, so it's hard for me to even review things like that. But I try to give people the respect to at least talk about it. But it's not. We all know, man. It's not happening. You know what I'm saying? It's not happening. We gonna skeet past this like it's nothing and move on to the next.
Yeah, I come on this app and I hear about a sassy man apocalypse, but they're not telling you about the sassy man manufacturers. They're not telling you about the sassy man manufacturers. Where are these sassy men coming from? Who's making them? Where they coming from?
Pick it up.
I'm not picking it up.
Keep your hands off your hip. That's what I'm talking about.
See, no.
No what?
You feel always trying to boss me around. Can I just go live with my dad?
No, hell no.
I already told you about this. I don't want to live with you no more.
What? You are? You ain't going nowhere.
I don't want to.
I don't care. You ain't going nowhere. Get up and clean up.
I don't want to clean up.
Ain't no boss you around shit. You gonna do what you supposed to do. You my child.
I already told you I want to go live with my dad.
You ain't going nowhere.
Me around.
I
already told you I want to leave.
You gotta go. You gonna be ordered around wherever you go in life. Understand?
I don't care. I don't want to be ordered by you.
Okay, well anyhow.
Don't even care about
pick
me
up
like
the
that.
shit now. There's shit everywhere. Pick it up. Pick it up.
No, I don't
Pick
want
it up.
He's a horrible
Pick it up.
Anyway.
I know horrible damn parent.
Boys over here. You barely talk to me.
What boys? I mess with me and not boys.
No, it's the same thing. You still talk to boys.
Okay, I mess with me and not boys. Okay, correction. And you need to learn something from them. Learn something from them. Learn something from them.
I don't want to learn nothing from you.
Man, please, get up and clean up like I told you.
You should. A horrible parent in the future? Because that's where you're being.
I'm not a horrible parent at all.
Closed 3 years ago since I was 13.
Okay,
and anything else.
And look at your mouth.
And you're being a horrible parent.
Look at your mouth.
Jeez, I don't care.
Your mouth.
Jeez, I want to leave.
Boys don't talk like that. It's your mouth.
I don't care.
Stop acting like a girl. It's your mouth.
I don't care.
Ooh, that got me mad. Ooh. Yo. That got me tight. She told the young man, stop acting like a girl. When you say things like that to young boys, what it does to their psyches is they don't know the difference of what it is to be a man or a woman. He's still learning, unfortunately. But when you put him in the main reason why he's still learning is because you could tell. He said he wants to go with his dad, but his dad is not there. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that his father isn't there, this is the problem. Shout out to marriage, politics, sports. Much love, much respect to you, my guy. So the fact that his father is not in the household 24/7 is the problem. Now you want to basically call this little young boy sassy. Then when he's out in the world being sassy, you wonder what the problem is. And I'm sorry, women, but unfortunately, this is the young man that's going to be in the dating market later for y'all. This is the fella that's going to be the pickings for your daughter. It's crazy. It's crazy. There was a post the other day on, I think it was the Bish Gossip. And it was something along the lines of somebody that got a life sentence in jail. And with the life sentence, they was like, the guy was like, I wish I would have known better. I wouldn't have done what I did to now spend the rest of my life in jail. So I made a comment under it, right? And the comment that I put was, fathers, stay in your boys' lives. Do you know that under that comment, I got trashed by a few people talking about we don't need men. It's the boys that need to learn that a mother can do it as well. This is the problem, right? But then now the same people that are raised in that style, y'all want to call sassy. Y'all want to call, beta males. The men that can't provide, can't protect, can't do what they're supposed to do. It's so sad, man. Like, this made me mad. Like, I really do not like when parents call their children names. You're not supposed to do that. There's a way to handle your children if they're acting out of order. One thing my mother used to do was call my dad. I straightened right up. I was like I was in the military. The moment she called my dad, I knew what time it was. That's one way to do it, right? Because every boy understands the respect that he has to have for his father. Yeah, you're supposed to have it for your mother, but unfortunately, young boys respond to men. It's the truth. I can't sugarcoat that. I can't beat around the bush. But when you start calling your children names, it's a problem. The other day I was outside, right? I was doing something at the side of a building. I forgot. I was actually working, but I was doing some work outside of a building. And I heard a mother calling her son. The son was taking a long time to respond and get to her. She could see him though, so she knew he was there. She just wanted him to hurry up and come upstairs. She called that little boy every name under the bush. She said, yo, come here, you little biatch. You just like your punk ASS father. So the kid started crying. She said that. She said, you're acting like a little biatch. This kid was probably 5 years old. I personally wanted to call the police on the woman. Personally. When I heard that, but I'm like, yo, you know what? Let me mind my business. Let me mind my business because I'm not going to change anything by doing that. All I'm going to do is probably, because I'm in their neighborhood, is probably get myself clapped up. So I was like, you know what? Let me let it rock. I'm going to let it go. But it's the saddest things when I hear parents talk to their children that way. It's messed up. It's messed up. I agree. I should, but think about it though. Think about it. If I were to say something, what would have been the outcome? Wife School, you want me to drop the link? I would love to have this conversation with you real quick. Let me know if you want me to drop the link for you. I'll send it over to you right now. But what could I have done that would have caused the situation to change? So I would love to know what happened in your situation. So I'm gonna drop the link. I'm gonna drop the link right now for you. Hold on 1 second. I got you. All right, there go the link for you. So listen, I would love to know what happened in your situation because that was something that bothered me. It still bothers me to this day, and I do feel as if I should have spoke up. But for me, I'm like, yo, what what could I have changed? What would have happened? Like the kid is still gonna go home with her. I could only imagine again, it's probably a real, reckless household. But I'm just like, yo, if I speak up, what would happen? I would love to know what would someone else do in this type of situation. So whenever here she go. Wife school, what up? Dog, let's have the conversation. Talk to me. You can hear me?
All right. Make sure
There
I
you go.
muted the other video. Well,
what's good?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, young man?
I'm chilling. I'm outside. Good to see you.
Good. Well, sometimes like things set off a tick in me, right? And as you said, you were a young man once and you allow your children to make mistakes. And sometimes I've observed some women, they act out of emotions, they say things out of emotions, and they don't really care what they say, and they're not mindful of how they speak to their children. So this lady was talking to her son, but it was like outside of this hair beauty supply store, and she was so loud and she's cussing on her son, and I couldn't take it anymore. I really couldn't. I was like, you know what? I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna
Something gotta
happen.
happen though.
Yeah, something's gonna happen. But I did use my my minister card because I am a minister at church, right? So that kind of buffered it down. I said, excuse me, ma'am. I said, you shouldn't talk to your son like that. I said, I'm a minister. You have to really be mindful of what you say to your children.
Okay.
She was like, all right. Yeah, you're right, ma'am. You're right. So she calmed all the way like a little kid to me, because I was speaking to her, in an authoritative way.
Right,
But it was like, if that changed anything going forward, I don't know. But for me to, stand by and to just witness it and the carelessness of it, I felt responsible that, okay, this is my community. That's how they did back in the day. We chastise each other and things like that. I felt it was my responsibility to speak to her and address that she shouldn't talk like that to her child, or just have that bad language, because they do absorb it. They do subconsciously, get programmed, by us.
Right. No, it's so true. Like, I guess because where I'm from, right, it's not it's like the Southern hospitality where a lot of people can't take authoritative talking to. So if you speak in an authoritative tone, that can calm some people down. But I've literally seen in my neighborhood, like I'm talking about on the block where I grew up at, where if you talk to the specific young lady, if you talk to her son and she doesn't like your tone, the whole house is coming out to jump you. Literally, the whole house.
Yeah.
We talking about the boyfriend, we talking about sister, auntie, everyone is coming outside and jumping on top of you. So I kind of got that way of mind your business. Mind your business. Unless you could actually change something that's going to actually save someone's life, if it's not that deep, mind your business. Just to not put yourself in a situation where you could change the trajectory of your life, right? You could end up in jail. You could end up, 6 feet. You could end up in a bad situation, or possibly putting someone else in the ground off of that type of, reaction. You get what I'm saying?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but maybe I'm crazy, but there's just certain things I don't like. I've been kind of fortunate not to get into any like spats with people, but I don't like people that are just rude for being rude's sake, I guess, or bullies. I've never liked that. I've never liked that at all. I've even fought people because I'm like, hey, you don't do that. And they say, oh no, and I'm pushing the girl back. High school, people were making fun of this girl. She had a deep voice.
Right.
You know, some women don't, you know, she was very natural, you know, and she had high water, so maybe she didn't have the flashiest, coolest clothes. And I heard people laughing at her. I said, what y'all talking about her for? Like, I was just going crazy. So like I don't know, I guess I have this tick for injustice and things that are wrong, and you know, being fair, and you know, like calling things out. And so I had to ask Jesus to help me with that. But I do it. I do it. I don't care. It's wrong. It's wrong. I'll try to be nice about it. I'll try to be neutral to make you see how crazy you looking, but I have to address it. It just is what it is, because if the few people, like we say, well, how do we change our society? How do we change our community if nobody's actually speaking on it or getting to the root of the matter? Like you said, we don't want no more band-aids. We gotta address the root cause and not the symptoms, you know. And that medicine, you know, which is, you know, yeah, people don't want it. And I'm coming to find out that a lot of people, they like their delusions. And just the fact that this mom is letting this young man and his daughter, I mean his girlfriend, lay there, she's in a delusion land. She's not she knows in her heart that she probably should speak up, but why is she even online or like recording? It's weird, you know. So I don't know what her mental space is, but it's very questionable. And these younger parents, like, because they're younger now, like, have they even grown up? Like you said, it's arrested development. It's a long way of coming through, you know, parenting and whatever, especially if you're young. So sometimes people, when they've experienced traumatic things, they get stuck. And so we have these grown people, these men and women, they look like men and women, but they're really stuck in this young mind state, you know. And then, like you said, these are the pickings that we have in the dating. That's why everybody's so frustrated, because we're all messed up.
That's
I
so
mean,
true.
a lot of people are messed up. Yeah.
A lot of us, a lot of us are more messed up than none. You know what I'm saying? So, and I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. Like, where does it stop if no one stands up? If no one says anything? If no one says it's wrong? I'm not telling men that they need to be the one to put themselves at jeopardy all the time, right?
Right.
I think as a collective, as a community, if we actually come together and create resources for our young boys and girls, then we'll have a better outcome. Then I think that's when we'll stop seeing this kind of foolishness. If I'm able to come to you and talk to your kids about what's wrong without you wanting to take my head off, that's what we need to get back to.
Absolutely.
That's what we need to get back to.
And like you said, you got to have the resource to redirect them, and willing to take the resource and the help. You know, like you probably, like you said, some people are like, I don't need the help. I'm doing just fine. And the boy was like, you're a terrible parent.
Terrible parent.
No, I'm not. Yes, you are. You have to say, and like you said, take accountability and acknowledge that what you're doing isn't right. Your house is in dysfunction. And I've been on the other side. So it's hard for me to, you know, sit here and listen to people. I put them to the test. I'm like, have you been down to the juvenile center? I have. I've seen the boys, 12 years old, 13 years old, that committed crimes. Are you sitting with them? Are you talking with them? Are you praying with them and ministering to them so that when they get out of here, they can have a changed heart and a changed mind? Or do you just talk about, you know, this is what needs to happen, this is what needs to happen? You're not even out there doing anything about it. So that's very near and dear to my heart, like the youth, because that is our future. And if we don't really put those things into them and those principles into them that we've learned, all the hardships to help them avoid it, they're just going to be in a worse way.
I agree. This is why, like with me, I'm big on, and it might, you know, it might come full circle. because I always say I'm big on marriage, right? I'm big on husband and wife, children. And because I believe there's no other real right way to raise a family, because then you have dysfunction. And whenever you have dysfunction, you know, you have the next generation of chaos. You'll have boys that run around, as they say, sassy. Then you have the next group of women complaining about the dating market. And then wondering why they can't find husbands, wondering why nobody wants to be in a relationship. It's because no one saw it. No one saw what it's like to have a husband and a wife in a house, mother and father together, raising a boy and telling them how to be a man. Right. So when you have that, now you have a mom laid up telling basically, yo, go cook for my son. Telling what? That's your man, not my man. Go cook for him. At a teenage age, absolutely. My mother wouldn't even say that to this day to my wife. That's insane. That's insane. So what we need to get back to is shame. We need to get back to telling people what it is. You know what I'm saying? And even still, like Doris says, and shout out to Doris, she says people need to start telling these women that they are overly aggressive and masculine. The aggressive, assertive part is what's hurting our women.
Well, they need to be we need to be regulated by our men. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like a woman that has power, or it's just emotion. And it can, and like she just said, like, okay, she's the mom will say anything like, oh, you're a B, or like, now I'll say, now you're getting out of control. You know what I'm saying?
Now
like you said,
right.
The mom needs to call on the dad, because there's just certain things, like even me, when I get upset, right, I have to walk away. I have to, because I'm like, this ain't gonna, nope. I'm going to the
turn
left,
out good.
and I'm gonna walk away. And I really try to talk with my sons, but at this point, the change is happening. A guy, Coach Furr, he said when the boys biologically, the whatever happens down there starts separating from the body, and he's changing, it's just a whole different thing. It's not the nurturing, cute son anymore, and mommy. No. They need masculine energy, instruction, vision, installation, because I don't have it. I don't have testosterone. I don't know what it's like to be a man. So me trying to correct a man, now I have to tear him down with words to try to control it. And that's not the way to do it. And so a lot of the women, like in the hookup cultures and things like that, and like you said, teen pregnancy, like we're just doing things that we're not ready to be responsible for. And we haven't even finished being the children or grown up yet. You know what I'm saying? So you need the fathers, like you said, the marriages. That's when we're responsible. That's when we have a clear knowledge of who we are, and direction, and a plan, a mission for everyone in the house. And I just think that we're starting way too early. That our society is just as dysfunctional, so it's backing up promiscuity, do what you want, fear of missing out. Like it's not good.
It's not good. It's not good. And like I said earlier, one thing I hate is when they say things like, well, other races of people do it, right? White people do it. How much times you heard that? White people do it,
all the
so
time.
we should be able to do it. That's not an excuse. That's not an excuse for debauchery. That's not an excuse for foolishness. We need to regulate ourselves. Why are we striving to be at the bottom?
Absolutely.
Why are we striving? Why is that a goal of ours as a community? To have less, to be less, to not be able to say we're moving forward in life, but yet do things to move backwards.
And
we celebrate
as much information as we have. It's
right.
That's why I say it must be something spiritual, because we have access to everything: knowledge, jobs, skills, mentors. Like you could pay somebody to coach you, but I believe it's something spiritual, because why can't we get it on track? I don't know. It's really bad. And that's why I'm like, I gotta pray. This is something bigger than Me talking, you talking, these panels is like this. God got to get in here. Yeah.
Right. One thing we got to stop doing is blaming slavery. We got to stop blaming Jim Crow. We got to stop blaming, a bunch of foolishness that has absolutely nothing to do. Because if we all know, back in slavery times, we were the most married. Back in Jim Crow times, we were together. And it wasn't until we felt as if we didn't really need each other is when we decided to separate ourselves from each other the most.
Right.
The most.
Absolutely.
Right? Was when we said, you know what, I don't have to be accountable for nothing. I can do what I want, say what I want. You can't tell me nothing. And we need to come back to where, and it starts in the home. It starts in the home. It starts with the mother. It starts with the father. That trickles down to the children. How do you feel about this? How do you feel about arguing in front of your children? How do you feel about that?
It's very bad. I love my daughter. She always held me and my ex-husband accountable. Like even if we were arguing, right? Or if I was going off, she said, "Mom, no, that's not right." She said, "Mom, say you love Dad." And then I'm like, "I love you." And she's like, "Dad, say you love Mom." And so they're watching everything, and to be corrected by a child is in real time, lets you know that you have to be mindful of what you do in front of your children. The talking, the texting, the FaceTime, who you're allowing over the men, everything they watch. And they're gonna say, and when you're gonna try to correct them one day, you're like, "Well, you did it." And they'll remember everything. So it's like you have to be mindful.
So I guess why I asked you that question was this. There has to be a time where your children understand how to problem solve, right? How to go through a conflict with someone, how to resolve it.
Right.
So I do believe that a way of a healthy disagreement with your husband, between husband and wife, matters.
Right.
Right? Healthy, meaning that we're not calling each other out our names. We're not raising voices. We can even let our child know, because there's been times where we let our son know, like, he'll be like, "Oh, you two stop arguing." And we'll just let him know, like, we're talking right now. And then he's learning through that how to go through something and fix it. Because something that I see a lot in a lot of homes is we hide a lot from our children. A lot. Right? To where they have no idea what it's like to problem solve. So when they now get older and they get into a relationship, then they get into their first disagreement, it's almost like, well, I never saw this. So I don't know how to deal with it. Right? I don't know how to get past an actual issue. But I agree with you when it comes down to disrespect, raising your voice, or calling each other out our names. That should not happen in front of the child at all. Shouldn't happen at all, period, right? But we all know flares, temperatures go up and all that. But where do we teach our children the middle ground of how to do it?
Just by your reaction, like you said, you told your son what you were doing. Also by living it. So even sometimes when my dad, he's off the chain. And then sometimes I would see him, kind of go off on my mom. "Girl, did you pay the mortgage?" Stuff like that. Like he'll bring in the money, but just make sure you got it. And she'd be like, "All right, Charles." And that was it. It wasn't no blowback or anything. Like her demeanor and how she handled his personality showed me, like, "Girl, how you do that, girl? I know that wouldn't be me." But still, I'm learning. I'm learning, and I can appreciate her. And so I always sit with her sometimes. I said, "Mom, I really appreciate, how you, dealt with that. I know he's not the easiest person. You may not be the easiest person to deal with, but that teaches me a person isn't perfect all the time, but you can learn how to work with it by, remaining silent, not coming out of place and being disrespectful to your husband and things like that. So sometimes you have to embody it to show them as well.
I like that. I like that. That was key. That was exactly what I was, nothing less than what I was expecting from you to say. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that understands what it is to be a wife, to understands what it is to go through that and be with a husband that can actually argue, go through something, and know how to maintain your femininity, maintain respect, maintain it all. And yet, and still, the man is supposed to maintain his masculinity. You're supposed to make sure that your wife still feels safe. I'm not going to say that I've always been that way with my wife as well, right? These are things that, as a man, I had to learn. And when I learned it, I'm like, yo, my wife is the most important person to this family unit that I have, right? So she has to feel safe and protected all the time. All the time. So I know now how to move as a husband, even in a heated debate, even in a heated argument. It's her safety and her feeling as if she should be able to come to me is what matters. And then I show that to my son, right? So I'll have that conversation with my son. So if there's any confusion on why me and his mother are having a back and forth, I can talk to him like, yo, these things happen. But then what that also does now, it teaches your children to go off in the world and have disagreements and back and forth respectfully, and then also bring it to their families respectfully. So this is what brings me back to marriage being the biggest thing. You know me. I gotta do that. I gotta do
Yeah.
that.
You know what I like? What you said? One thing that I love what my dad did, even though he is gruff like grizzly bear. The one thing I admired about my dad isn't that he tried to remain the man. He came back and he apologized. He always apologized, even if he was wrong, and then he called back an hour later. I'm sorry for the way I hollered or I yelled. My dad always apologized. And I really admired that. And then any man that can apologize, I love it, because sometimes all you want is a sorry. We don't, want no, I mean, the flowers and all that stuff is nice, but just an apology sometimes does enough and can, outweigh a whole bunch of stuff. And I just appreciated that from him. So any man that does that for me, that you can apologize, that's awesome.
Right. No, that's dope. That's deep. And do you have brothers?
Yes, I do. I have an older brother and a younger brother. Yeah.
Okay. So they were able to see that. And they're married now?
Yeah.
Voila. Voila. You know what I'm saying? I could automatically tell off of what you're saying and the household you was raised in that, of course, nothing's perfect, but they're living a life that they're supposed to live with a family.
Absolutely.
So I like that.
Absolutely.
I like that.
Maybe
I
I'm just a problem child.
Listen. But you learn. The whole thing is you learn as you grow. You know what I'm saying? You're still young.
Absolutely.
So you learn as you
And
grow.
what I've learned and all the mistakes I've learned, I'm sharing it with other women, because I'm like, whoo, I'm telling you, it's very, like you said, if we're not speaking up and hiding things, it won't ever get better. You got to admit the faults and the wrongs. And I'm like, hey, ladies, like, I know we're modern or whatever, but, kind of tone it down a little bit, like just certain things that will help us get through another year or do another hardship, or, like that's what we're here. You trying to do the marriage, you trying to bring it together. I'm trying to do the femininity. Like, this is what the characteristics of a woman that, is putting her energy towards her home and things like that, and herself. And it's like, we need all of it. We need all the working parts of the machine at this point, all hands on deck. So I love what you're doing with you and your wife. I just think it's just beautiful. I think God is like turning things around. Like, we have to have some light and hope in what the social media is trying to, kick off on us. Like, there's no hope, there's no love popping off. No, there's people that are doing it. And and your wife. That's why I'm like, oh, every time I see you guys, I'm like, oh my God, I'm in love.
Oh man, that means a lot. Wait till you when you see the reunion for Meet to Marry, you how you feel right now, you're gonna feel that tenfold. I'm telling you, the reunion, there was nothing but love on set. And you felt it even between the contestants, right? From the contestants to my wife and I, when we both made a speech, you felt the love in the room. So, oh my goodness, I can't wait to drop that. I cannot wait. You're gonna be happy. But you mind hanging out with me for just a second? I wanna play one more thing and we can have a discussion.
All right.
All right, let's get into it.
Black women, they want to date Black men, but it's just the inventory is low.
Yeah, the inventory is
low. Inventory low, y'all. So what y'all want us to do out here in these streets?
The inventory low, but some of the women that I said, ask me anything, said they want to date outside their race, but they scared.
I get that a lot too.
They're so loyal to dating Black men that they won't even branch out and try other races. Yeah. How do you know you don't like it if you've never done it?
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm just going to say this. A lot of, like I said, like Black women, they want to date Black men. But the good Black men, they date outside their race, or or they gay, or they in prison. So what do y'all want these women to do? Sit around and just get old and die off? People want to have a good life. So
whoa. All Pain, what up, my guy? How you feeling, my brother?
All right. How you guys doing? Hey, White School, what's going on, Steph? Right, what's going on, man?
Oh man, shout out to you.
I see you guys talking relationships and marriage. I said, well, let the dinosaur get a piece. I've been,
well, you've been married for over 30 years, so you got wisdom.
Yeah, I couldn't resist. It's funny that you show those tapes. I didn't want to just barge in. The way the ladies talk about there's no men out there, it's still the same old tropes. They're always looking from their own perspective. See, because they want relationships, but they want relationships on their terms. And the kind of man you might want, he ain't giving you a relationship on your term. They're not willing to have a relationship. They say, where's all the good men at? Well, they want to take a good man and bend them into something that fits under their control. If you really listen behind their words, so I'm gonna date outside the race. Well, go ahead. Those guys don't want you either because it's daddy with them.
Hold up, y'all. Keep going.
It's not 100%. It's not everybody, but every time I see these ladies on the internet, I think that's where they're coming from. I kind of listen behind the words. Oh, there's no good men. Well, there's plenty of good men out there. You just don't want them. That's why you just keep walking over all those good men because you got. If we ask those same two ladies what is a good man to them, they'll give us all the same old horse shit. How much money he's supposed to make, how tall he needs to be. Because.
Oh, did you see the previous video with homegirl guy? He was like, "What is your ideal first date?" Well, first off, he got to make 7 figures. I didn't ask you that.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard the tail end of that.
I was like, ridiculous. Oh my, this is so embarrassing. And like the men, they're putting their heads down, they're doing the work, and from the time of Kevin Samuels, I guess that's when it started amping up, and until now, and to see the new numbers that have come out that Black men are actually competing and making money up there with their counterparts, the white men that they so-called want to date out with. And I'm like, well, that is just awesome, and I admire them for that. So what are the women doing to become more feminine to get these, nice men, but they don't want to be authentic. Like you said, our pain, they want to bend the man. They just don't want to be what he wants to consume, because the man is the access to marriage. And if he's not choosing you, that means you're the problem.
You know what? Listen, one of the things I don't like to do is put it all on the ladies. You know what I'm saying? Because I have a real feeling that if you spent your time being extroverted in terms of how you view the world, or no, introverted, like it's about me, it's about me, it's about me, I think you miss stuff. These are the same ladies. So I bet you if we asked those two ladies who were just talking, do they have any kids? The chances are they're probably going to have at least one or maybe two, but different men, right? Chances are. And so now you're telling me there's no good men, but you just gave the best gift that you could possibly give a man, which is a kid, to somebody you're not even with no more. So automatically that tells me you ain't really even viewing the world correctly, right? So yeah, I mean, it's just like I hear it. I mean, I'm still waiting for a woman to get up on here and say, "Listen, this is the kind of woman I am, and if I find a man I want, these are the things I'm gonna give him, so he could be, so he could feel, he could trust me enough to give me the world." I never hear no women talk like that. It's what are you going to get me? What am I going to get? What am I going to get? What am I going to get? What are you going to get? I don't ever hear it. I mean, I shouldn't say never. There's a few. I mean, your stuff you got up there. There's a few more sisters, but you can count them on one or two hands.
Well, the thing is, go ahead.
No, you got it. You got it. Shout out World Class. What up? What up?
Yeah, World Class.
So bad.
Yes, classic man in the building.
Society like has.
I'm listening.
I'm sorry. I was just saying, like, society has formulated and forced, not like, well, put us in a delusional state, made everything about us, in a lot of ways. So we can't speak about anybody else sometimes. Like, we have convenience, we have prime, we get what we want. We can get it by 5 or 10 o'clock tonight, or you're disposable. There's a whole bounty full of men out there for me if you're not going to do it for me. You know what I'm saying? So it's something that you feel that you don't have to work for. You are not going to come from the aspect of that I have to put anything in. You know what I'm saying? So
I hear you.
You have to unlearn what society is lying to us about. You have to look back in the past, in history, as grown man was talking about, like, how were they married so much more in those societies, because we had nothing else but ourselves at the end of the day. And I don't think we reach back further enough, because, and even if you do try to, talk to women like that, they're like, well, my grandmother, she was this, she was abused, and all. I'm like, oh God. So a lot of they don't give up. They don't give up. They don't think, they hold on.
No, you're right though, Stephanie. When both women and men, especially when they look in the past, if you ask a lot of women today, the only reason why women got married back in my day was because they didn't have a choice. They didn't love the men. They just have no choice. I mean, you hear that everywhere. That's the lie that's permeating.
Right.
Because that's when we had the strongest families. All my aunts and uncles, my mother and father, they got married till death did they part. One was putting the other one in the grave. There was no divorces. Like, not the way they are today. You know what I'm saying? But the thing on the man's side, though, let me just say this real quick. Men need to be more intentional. Because if we're not intentional with the ladies, we keep chaos in the sexual marketplace. Because if you just want to smash, there's a very few of us, and I count myself as one of them. When back in the day, I used to let ladies know that's all I wanted to do. If she didn't want to do that, then we didn't have a match. And then when I started having girlfriends, and when you get older, girlfriend, boyfriend is stupid, right? Because at best it's friends with benefits. And at worst, you're going to get her pregnant. And if you're not ready to marry her, now you got another bitter baby mama out there. So when I met my wife, I was very intentional. I very first date, I said, listen, I don't need another girlfriend. I'm looking for something more. And the way she answered is why we're married today. Because she said the same thing. I am too. And so we went right into courting, right into the courting phase, So we got engaged 5 months later. So I say, I just came up, kind of thought about it. Men, if you're not intentional and you tell ladies what they want to hear, but your intentions are just to smash, that's when you leave all that trauma in the marketplace because you're lying. And when you put a baby in the mix, you know what I'm saying? And, and no matter how promiscuous women are, they still value giving you sex more than you value getting it in terms of what it means to each other. This whole hope that men can have sex and then walk away. Well, women try to do that, but it's really not the same.
Right.
Do you so you've been married for a long time. But there's Blockchain said in this comment here that pretty much overall the dating world is different between being in your 50s to people that's younger than their 50s in the dating market. Do you believe that there's a big difference in how it shifted?
That's why I tell them I don't try to teach none of these young people how to date. If they want to know how to be married, I can help them with that. The only thing I can say with the young guys and gals today is be intentional. That's ageless. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's the intention. It's the intentionality that's the timeless factor. So I'm not going to sit down with a young guy. No, but see, in my day, I paid for dates. I didn't care about it. I didn't think about it because it's all sunk cost to me because I had a budget.
Right.
And it wasn't one size fit all. If I liked the girl, she could have a dessert with the dinner. If I didn't, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, if I couldn't get past first base, we never had another date again. And the money I spent didn't matter. Back in my day, it was like, $20 could get you a full meal and shit. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. I ain't nothing now.
Yeah, but let me say this, GMT. Yeah. When a young guy say, well, because you're old, you don't know what you're talking about, it's because I'm old. I know more than you. You know what I'm saying? When they say that, I mean, I'm not going to tell you how to date a modern woman, but if you have I could tell you about being intentional and how you go about it. I'm not going to try to pass any judgment. But if you're lying to the women, it's the same thing. Lying to them 30 years ago is the same thing as lying to them today.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right.
Nah, you're real. It's real. I'm like you with that. I truly believe that there's a way, of course, of having fun. Knowing the women that are for fun, right? There's certain women out there, they let you know. And I believe men, if we're more honest with our dating preferences, I believe women will tell you, yeah, I just want sex. I don't want nothing serious. And that's okay. And then you keep them where that is, as opposed to, building something with someone, or you notice that this woman is looking for an intentional man, you be intentional about dating her, and then y'all move forward. I believe that's something that hasn't changed, is that if two people are intentional, then yeah. If you just want to have fun, she just want to have fun, then you should keep it what it is. I do understand that both men and women lie. So a lot of these women they're dating 50 guys now because, it is a lot different dating back in the days because women's reach is much more, right? Right now, you have IG where 50 men right now are competing for them inside their DMs.
Right.
As opposed to like back in the day, the only men that could compete for them was the men within their community.
Right.
And if you happen to outshine the greater majority, you stood a chance of being a husband. So I believe that's where we see the difference between men from, dating from back in the day to dating today to relationships to marriage. It's still the same on intentionality. So if the intention is there for both, you'll get married. That's just what it is. But if it's not, then you won't.
And they got more options. Like, they have more options today. If you're a man who knows his way around women, you have more options because women are more promiscuous today. But there's a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys ain't getting none. There's a lot of. I think women underestimate the fact that men ain't balling like y'all are. They just not. They're not. The average dude is not balling like that. The top tier dudes and the aesthetically pleasing dudes, whether they have money or not, those are the guys who are born.
Yeah, the top tier. You know, but then there's a lot of guys
tier,
that ain't up there.
When I say top tier, money and all that, some looks, they don't even have, but they got money. They got, but the guys who have aesthetics, they could be gang leaders, right?
And they're getting it all.
They're getting it on. Yeah, they're getting a lot because maybe they might be handsome, but their leadership, even if it's criminal, right? The jails, they say the guys in jail don't have no problem with women.
Right. Right. That's crazy. Crazy. They had a picture of a dude that just came out this last week. A lot of women found him handsome. They was talking about how could I get him out? What could I do to, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind if he put his hands on me, because mind you, the man went to jail for battery. Yet and still, the greater majority of the women of his comment section was like, well, when is my turn? I'll take a spanking. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah. So I mean, when I see that, where's all the good men at? I mean, where's the good men?
Yeah.
You know, the women, it's really the women ain't looking at all the good men. They just look at the men they want.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. You know, and some of those guys are good and some of them aren't.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's right. And also, like, there's nothing wrong with dating outside your race, but still, like, women are bad pickers. So you still have a problem if you can't identify what a good woman, what man is. You're just thinking that a color equates to goodness. No, you still need, a good picker in that too, because Brad can be cray too. But the thing is, like, our society plays to, your lustful desires. And sometimes those lustful desires mask themselves that, oh, this is love, or this is a good man, but it really is just trauma and a horrible attachment style in your dating. And you don't know that until you get burnt, dumped, ghosted. And then now you're like, oh my God, the other guy was a good man because he didn't do these things. But looking and being superficial is not going to get you very far, because a man that looks good, it looks good to you, and he also looks good to 30 other women. Like you said, his options are out there too. So like, he's like, man, whew, sometimes people can't handle that, and they're like, well, I'm just gonna have my cake, and I'm gonna eat the cake too, and I'm gonna get another cake. So it's like, you have to, really think what you need. You need stability. You need consistency. You need a person that checks in with you. You need a man that's caring. He has integrity. He's been at his job more than 10 years. Like, he's invested. He has plans. He has life insurance. Like, these are things that we need.
You got life insurance. You got the hospital money.
Gotta make sure that life insurance is popping.
Yeah. See, I'm learning that. I learned that from a man. He said, if he don't got no life insurance, you got to think twice about it. I was like, yeah, I think I'm learning something new. So, but I learned that from a man. And you have to have good men. Like, you can't do this by yourself. You can't identify a good man because you don't have no good men around you that can help you identify another good man or a decent man, or if this guy's a goon. Like, go, sis. Like, you need good men around you to help you.
Well, let me ask you guys both a question, right? I mean, listen, on both sexes, right? It doesn't seem like people want to really be married. They say they want to be married, but men are afraid of marriage for all of the trust issues, the laws, and all that kind of stuff, right? Because I believe men love harder than women. Women don't want to be married because of the control they have to give up, especially in the Black community, right? They want men, but they don't want to see control. The trope is they want traditional men, but they don't want to be traditional themselves. So I don't know how you bridge that gap.
Let me. You mind if I chime in with what you just said?
Yeah, I'm asking that question.
I don't think it's like the traditional themselves. I think they don't understand what traditional comes with.
Okay.
And it's like you said, traditional comes with a sense of control of a household. And that's where the problem is. So if I tell you you can't wear that, but you bought it and you feel as if you're comfortable in it, and everyone around you said you look good in it, would you take that off? That's the question. So it comes with being traditional and what traditional comes with. And I think that's where the problem is. How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
No, I mean,
totally agree.
Yeah, go ahead, Stephanie. Go ahead.
No, I totally agree because basically back in the day, everyone was on one accord. We had dinner together. We worshiped together. We come together with other families that worship together. So we were more focused. That's why we were able to have movements and things as such and get things accomplished on our own because we had the same mindset. Now today, in modern mindset, we got all these social constructs. Equal this, equal that. I got my truth. You got your truth. Don't tell me what to do. It's like, it's just too much. And all that division, all those things that has been thrown into the minds of people has ruined dating, has ruined the mating process. And people have, like you said, they have the fear and the distrust, and like it's just too much. And like, I think if the women, like you said, will go back to just a traditional mindset, I believe the traditional actions would take place after that. Because if you want a man to lead and you like, where are the good men? He has to lead. You have to trust him to lead. You have to let that go. Okay, you're the manager at the house. You still got something to manage and you have control over the children and certain things, but he has to lead and you have to allow him to do that because he can't function the way he needs to love and protect you as a woman. And then that's where the mishap happens. That's why a lot of men look at other cultures, because they have that mindset that they know that the man is the leader. It's not so much that they're better women, it's just that they know and they have the mindset that what a man is and his role in the house.
Well, let me ask you this then. I mean, I think we are leaving one big factor out. I believe Black women lead with how much money a man makes. It determines who's the leader in the household. That's one thing I believe that's true. The real deal is that no matter how much your woman makes, if you're in the household, just the man is still a breadwinner. Right. So breadwinner has the connotation now is just strictly money. That's not really what it's supposed to be like. It's supposed to be he leads and we negotiate how we're going to live together. And I think that goes back to intentionality, because traditions change, but they grow. They can still become traditions, right? If my wife is working 60 hours a week like I am, I understand that I'm going to have to do some things in the house when I get home because she's going to be tired too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that makes sense to me. Like most in my house, we had just days where we all clean the house. I mean, you don't have to say, okay, you clean because you're the woman, or you cook when the kids are young. Yeah, you cook, but I like to cook.
But that's your personal emotional.
Yeah, but that's everybody. Everybody, that's everybody. Everybody relationship is like that.
It's those things that you do, those are just things that you do in duty and service. But the roles of your identity in that union, she knows who you are.
Yeah,
you know who she is. The kids know who you guys are. That does not change.
I agree with
whatever
that.
you guys do to make that work for you guys, that's people, like you
That's
said,
the way to
you
put
make it work. Yeah, but who you guys are, that identity, that cannot change. It cannot.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that.
I would say, like, even if I have to look at my household, my wife does the majority of the cooking. She does the majority of the cleaning. But at the end of the day, yeah, I would come home, and if I know my wife is tired from doing whatever she's doing, right, I'll make sure that I pick up where she left off. So yeah, so those are the dynamics. But like Wife School said, there's still the dynamics that's held. My wife knows this is the leader of the household. This is my husband, right? And then everything, and I know this is my wife. So she said also she falls as the manager of the house. She knows that I got to make sure my son is straight. I got to make sure the house is in order, and I get to oversee it all. And
Right.
that's kind of the role. And I think that's where the disconnect is in marriages nowadays, why divorce rate is so high, because we no longer want roles, right? We no longer want to know the man has a specific role. But still say it though. We still want the man to protect and provide, but we
Right.
don't want what comes with that. Protection, I always say, comes with much more than that. If I tell you don't go over there, you better not go over there. And I'm not just saying that to be, I'm not saying that to be an asshole to you. I'm telling you that because I'm telling you to for your protection. And if you trust that, literally trust that my role is to protect you, you're not gonna go over there. That's it. I said something on, and what's so crazy, it had like almost 100,000 views off of me just saying straight up what women need to do as far as the protection, accepting protection from a man. And I got roasted in those comments as well. Like, you said you wanted it though. You know what I'm saying? I didn't make this up. It's wild, man.
I recently got roasted. I made a post of women going into church wearing tight dresses and showing off their assets in front of everyone. I said, that's not appropriate. I said, put a nice jacket. I said, you could still wear your dress, but put something nice over it to cover whatever, you know, just out of respect for the other husbands, the young men, the boys, like the other young women, like they see you. And like you said, I got so much views on that. You shouldn't do that. That's not in the word. You can't judge. And I'm like, just typing. I'm like, oh, this is such good engagement. This is a good time to teach people.
Awesome.
You know, I know we're hitting something on the head because you get in the root. That is a symptom because a lot of people, they don't want you to tell them what to do. I said, but if it didn't come from me, what if it came from a man? What if it came from your husband?
Right.
Not to wear this, not to wear that. Like you're saying, you're still going to have the same pushback, and that's not right. And that should not be within your heart if you're going to be in a relationship, if you're being intentional, because you can't have your way all the time. As we said, it's not about happiness, it's about duty. Love is not fluffy all the time. Love is hard sometimes. It really is. And it's sacrificial, it's discipline. I love you enough to come home every night and not fool around. You know, it's way more than what has been told to us. And that's why we have to speak up and keep having these discussions and showing these crazy videos. I don't know how people, but it's real life because they're recording this in real time.
Right. You want to know like my real purpose for creating my dating show.
Yes, I saw that. It's nice.
Thank you, man. And the real purpose for creating it was this. I felt like the internet has too much of these conversations, but I do feel as if we got to a point where it's continuous men versus women, right? It's just constantly men versus women versus men, who's wrong, who's right. There's channels all across the internet platform, and people enjoy the brutality of it, right? Whereas as if you created something that showed that one created by a husband and wife, right? You see togetherness in it. And on top of the togetherness, you see the intentionality behind it.
There you go.
You see
That's
two
the
people
word.
trying to bring people together, right? This is where I believe it, and no slight to Pop the Balloon, no slight to any of those other dating shows, where the intention, I believe, in a lot of cases, is for views. Of course, I want views as well, but I want it done the right way. I want it done to the point where you see the intention of bringing people together. So that really is why I created that show, because we need to have conversations like this. Let's talk about the problem, because the problem has to be laid out on the table. But then let's dissect it and let's put it back together so it's whole. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So let me ask you a question, though, GMT. Is your results more? Do you have more? Because you just kind of started. Are you seeing these people come together that last more than just a show? Are they?
So I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. There was a couple, right, that we did a promo for. You'll see them on the reunion because we actually showed them. they met at our promo,
Right.
and they actually are building a unit together right now.
All right.
There's so I don't want to give away too much because the reunion is coming up. But you'll find out if people actually stay together or not through the reunion. But you know, in reality, you're going to have people, whether they met each other on the show or met each other through the process of the show, come together. Right. And with me, that matters. All that matters is that men and women come together. I don't care how it happens. I don't care if it's on camera or if it's behind the scenes. So long as what process that I'm doing brought two people together, that's my intentions.
Right. It's a solution-oriented show. I mean, that's when you're looking for solutions for the relationship other than just talking at each other. That's good. I mean, it's already good. Right. And it's still entertaining to see how people react. You know, it's still,
of course.
It's very classy. And the thing is, you're not just bringing, I mean, people have their own occupations, but you're just not bringing like riffraff together. You like actually have quality men and women on your show, because they say we're all the good men. Well, here you go. He has a business. He has an establishment. He's very accomplished. And it's like, I love it. And because I'm like, I can, it's palpable. It's not like, you know, the guilty plea, like you said, the possible when you watch it.
You put your application in. Where's your application, Where's your application?
Yeah, you know, without all the drama, because we're so used to seeing the Housewives of Atlanta and all these crazy drama relationship shows. This is actually a nice show where it's 3 contestants, quality questions, and then boom, somebody's come together or making a decision, and it's just like nice, sweet, and to the point. How easy coming together should be, not the difficulty, you know? Yeah.
Right.
There you go.
I appreciate that. And you know, that was when I had the idea of the show. And it's so crazy because, believe it or not, y'all, the way that I was gonna do the show is just like this. It was gonna be me, the main contestant, and I was gonna bring people up one by one to eliminate them. And it expanded from a StreamYard show into an in-person show because you know, I just believed in it and I just put effort to make it happen. So
a little bit more logistics, but it's better when people are face to face in the same location, they're talking to each other and all that stuff. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. It's good,
I get to see you, I get to smell you, I get to hear your tone, I get to see if you're insecure, I get to see if you're looking down or up, I get to see eye contact. There's nothing like being able to meet someone in person. And that's the beauty of the show. Whenever I see somebody walking around that corner, I'm like, all right, what's gonna happen next, yo? What's gonna happen? So no, it's really dope. But I am gonna end the show here. But I wanted to thank the both of y'all for joining me today and having this really dope conversation, y'all. It was good. I haven't spoke to the both of y'all in so long, it feels like. So it was definitely good to have y'all up here and have this conversation. So
I appreciate it.
Many, many, many blessings to y'all, and we will talk soon. And I'll see y'all in the audience. Don't forget to hit the like button, y'all. What? Right. I'll see y'all later, all right? Peace.
Show.